What's going on, everybody? My name is Chad. This week I'm showing you my weird 2.5 story apartment. Now I'm gonna have to switch between a couple of different views because lighting varies in here depending on which floor I'm in, and it's just gonna be easier and keep it more consistent if I use the forward-facing camera the most. And we're at the water heater, so it's not technically tankless, but all you do is when you're done showering, you don't plan to shower or do dishes or anything, you turn it off, and right when you're like, I want to take a shower, it's already hot. It's amazing. Like, right when you turn it on, maybe 2 seconds after the water starts, it's already boiling lava hot. And then right when you're done, you shut it off. Saves a lot of energy. And from the water heater, we actually move on to my kitchen, which again, sorry the mess, pardon it. It is moving day again, everything's all packed up and getting ready to get out of here. So if you see clutter, it's not normally supposed to be here. It's just, this is the only time I'm gonna be able to film this. The kitchen's pretty simple. It's got two big under pantries, which you can see, obviously they're all packed up. But just knives, kitchens, ton of space under here. I could probably fit two of me packed into here, and I'm 6 foot tall. On top of that, we got a double burner. It's all gas here, by the way, come on. Boom. Up top here, this is just the under stove. You can see it. We have basically the off, the weak, and the strong for the fan whenever you're broiling. You just hit that button and then annoyingly loud noise for the video. And also a light, which I'm just gonna leave on for today's video purposes. And the sink's pretty deep. It's probably, I don't know, I'd estimate like 6 inches deep with the little trap down there to trap any goodies you might have. And a drying rack. Pretty simple, it's a very basic house. The Genkan here, which I just took my shoes off to come in, is quite small, but the nice thing is right next to the Genkan, this giant, beautiful thing, and I don't mean me, is a basically just more shoe space. However, because I don't ever have enough friends over here to warrant all this shoe space, I tend to use this actually as a pantry. Hey, good looking. But yeah, I tend to just leave my shoes there, and whenever my friends come over, they just leave their shoes there too. I don't know if you can see that thing all the way down there, that guy. That is a magnetic door stop, actually for the bathroom door, which is right here. So, when you open the bathroom door, you pull it, you see it lift right there, it's by magnet, and it clicks in. So that way, you can just leave this door open if for whatever reason you might want to do that. I don't really know what the purpose is, and it comes right off. The future is nigh! Now, after you take your shoes off and, I don't know, put anything else that you want on, there are stairs up to my living room. However, we're going to do the bathroom first, because it's right when you walk in. You basically take your shoes off, and then, whew, bathroom's right here. When the door opens, now this is actually quite interesting. Hi, Chad again. Essentially, there's gonna be two doors here. You have one to the left, and all the way over here, one to the right. Now you won't be able to see this probably very well at all because I'm having to do this by myself, but I'm 6 foot tall, so that means my wingspan should be about 6 feet, so that makes this about a 5 foot area right here, in between these two doors. Of course, right when you walk in, you got my sink, a bunch of little drawers here that are all getting packed up. One nice facet here that you guys aren't gonna see. You're gonna be like, Chad, where's your washer, where's your dryer, where's your fridge, whatever it happens to be. This is technically where it would be. This is a gas faucet, so you can have either a washer dryer unit, because the drains actually are below this little, I'm gonna call it a shelf for towels. So you can put one here, you could also put a fridge here. That's actually going to be specifically what that's for if you have a propane fridge. The reason I don't necessarily have that is if I'm just doing like my hand towels or like shirts, I will do my loads in here. This is actually designed for laundry. You can see when you turn this on, there's a little switch, and it's meant for rinsing either small dogs, children's bones, or laundry. This is probably another 6 inches deep just here alone. There's also a really cool mirror where you take selfies and like kick your leg up and do this thing that everyone does on Twitter. And it has its own light. It's quite boring right now because, again, I'm leaving, so the only thing that's out are the essentials. Next up, we're going door left, which is nice because it's a modern bidet toilet. It still has the top where you're supposed to wash your hands, but nobody ever washes their hands there. But I've never actually had my own apartment with a bidet. I've always had just the normal Western toilet. And you got a little shelf rack there. You have a vent that you could turn on via the bidet or via this side. So this is what I was talking about earlier. A lot of the doors here have the light switch and also a fan if, you know, it's, you have to bite an upper lip up in this room. So we'll close that and we'll go to the other side. Before we go inside, that's just a water mat. You guys don't have to worry about it. This thing I thought was super interesting. So you might be going, Chad, where's all the electrical? Where's all the plumbing? This little unit here, you pop that in, and you can see the side came up. It made like a ring. When you pull this, you're actually going to see the entire house's plumbing and electrical is in a subfloor that's about 1 foot maybe a 1.5 feet deep, completely under the house, so it's all hidden away. You don't have to go outside to do any of your plumbing. If anything's wrong, all you have to do is pop this and go under there and take a look and see what's going on, which I happen to quite enjoy. Next up is the shower room. Now this house is a Western house with a Japanese style bathroom, which apparently is becoming the standard with millennials here in Japan. You can see this is a watertight door. When it opens up, it has the normal divided shower. Now in the reflection, because it's spotless, because I just cleaned, you can see that this room, I'm 6 foot obviously, there's still a ton of headroom, probably, I don't know, 4 inches, 5 inches. And when you step down, this is intended for you to sit here and shower. Another selfie. You basically are supposed to shower on this side and you fill up this cute little bucket and just kind of make sure you're clean, and then you actually move over to the tub just to soak. Normally there'd be a little shower curtain. However, again, moving. Sorry, my bad. Another nice feature here is that you have a remote to turn on. Let's say it gets too humid in here. You can always pop this on and it turns on this little vent on top of the bath, so that way you can, you know, get rid of all the humidity and not die in here, because it does get quite warm. And easy off. Now the shower is 2 sizes. Basically this is when I'm cleaning myself and I just need to get it down there, or if I'm lazy and I want more of a Western style shower, it has an upper region up here where you can just kind of shower and not have to worry about it. The one thing you want to be careful of, I think this is pretty standard. This pissed me off when I first got in here, and I'll explain in a sec. This is 40 degrees Celsius, and obviously you can go cold and warm, but it has a stop to it. If you saw outside, I have my water set to 45 because I like a really hot shower. It has kind of like a child safety thing where you have to push this in to get to the hotter temperatures. Not that troublesome, probably a little bit safer than not, but that's what that's there for. Now the other thing, and this will really bother you, this is how you turn it to which side it's going to. And for the I've seriously soaked myself so much because my version of on is that way. And so that is on, but that's on, if you can tell, for the shower head. And so I'm gonna look up right there. That's how you get wet when you still have clothes on. So it's very important you push down to start the tub. But enough of the bathroom. As best as I can, I'd like to introduce you to my living room and my loft. I'm 6 feet tall. That's about 6 feet. If you can't tell, this is probably a 12-foot room from side. Whoa! Got it, to side. Also, it's a vaulted kind of ceiling. So, again, my arm up probably is about 9 feet. I have to I can't even touch to jump and hit the ceiling, so it's probably about a 12 or 13 foot ceiling here. This room is super big and nice, and one of the best parts about it are these giant windows. So this is a street level here, and if you can't tell, you actually can't see out the windows. It has this kind of corrugated privacy filter to it, and I prefer this because I like having all of this beautiful natural light, except for up there I didn't turn on my light. Now we have beautiful natural light. But the problem is if you have normal just windows here to let even more light in, people can see in. And I don't know if you can tell from this view, whether I'm studying or cooking or showering or sleeping, they would be able to find me quite easily. So having it this way, where the inside's a normal window, but the outside has that texture to it, just makes it so that way you can get as much light in as humanly possible. The other thing, this is kind of 3 stories. You have basement tier, current, floor, as well as big old loft. You would think hard to heat. Well, let me tell you guys about the joys of mini splits. If you've lived in Japan for any time at all, you know about mini splits. They're amazing. But if you don't, they're catching on pretty much everywhere now, especially for smaller spaces, because that little unit way up there both heats, cools, and dehumidifies. And in Japan, let me tell you, humidity kills. Now I've been in here when it's freezing balls cold at winter at night, and I've also been in here when it is so hot I would rather die in the summer. And especially since the ocean is only about 10 minutes that way, it gets super humid in the summer. This takes care of all of that. I can make it feel like Colorado, Rocky Mountains, dry and breezy anytime I want. And it's extremely energy efficient, so it doesn't cost me very much. On top of that, when you're looking down here, you can also see I have a little bit of closet space. This is just some extra closet space and some shelves for some stuff that are coming with me when I leave. And the stairs that go up to the 2nd story loft are also kind of cubbies, sort of. Very efficient use of space. However, if you drink a lot, probably don't buy this style house because there's only one rail there and maybe a foot guardrail. Otherwise, if you walk up this, it is just you and Destiny. And let me tell you, Destiny is a bitch. I'll try and give you guys a top view here. You can see I have a little chandelier light up there that's not on. It probably should be on, but no biggie. And it's quite a long ways down. Again, pardon the mess. I'm just leaving. You can even see straight down there. Really nothing keeping you from eating crap. So I imagine, I'm surprised I haven't yet, but I imagine if I stayed here a little bit longer, I would be eating dirt eventually one morning. I'd forget to take my socks off at night, and I would just slip on this really slick black wood. The nice thing about this table too is this isn't a permanent fixture. It's actually one of those foldable IKEA tables that have, you know, side drawers that you can fit stuff in. And you can fold this guy down. It's just one little leg that you can fold in. And then the table only takes up, what, about 6 inches? And there's a whole other side to it. So this thing actually becomes quite a large table. And just for me, I can have 3 friends in the traditional Western style chairs, or depending on how many of those I want to stack up, I can have a ton more. Now, across the street, there is a laundromat, and a lot of laundromats in Japan are only wash for some reason. There's not a lot of dryers. Luckily, mine is drying. However, if you do need to dry, on both sides of this window are these little racks that you can take a pole, much like this guy, and just dry your clothes on it. Super fancy, super neat. One last thing before we move upstairs. This is for the heater and cooler. I don't know if any of you guys will have something similar, but it should be pretty simple. Cooling is blue, heating is red, off is that. This changes your temperature. Essentially, if you're living here, that's pretty much all you ever need to know. You can set up a sleep timer, so while you're asleep, it doesn't heat or cool. You can have it be automatic. It's not super important. The other nice thing about this place, when you ring the bell, I should have had a friend do this for me before I started this video. If you ring my doorbell, it'll alert me, and then your face will come up on this screen. I have a little video camera out front, so that way I can talk to you or tell you to piss off based on whether I want to deal with you or not. And that actually came in handy, because guess who came to visit me? The Jehovah's Witnesses. So we're losing time, so we're gonna climb up here, and you're gonna see my mess of a loft, which I'm super sorry, because we're all packing up to leave. This is how big the loft is. And I don't know if you noticed that. That is, yes, a little study of mine. I often get extremely sick of sitting in my normal chair, because it's like my only other chair in the building. So I'll either lay on the floor, or if I want to actually study, I'll come up here and study. Now I'm crouching down not because of the roof. I can actually come all the way up. I'm crouching down because I think I'm not in frame. There's plenty of space to lay out, and I often, will bring my coffee up here. We'll bring a book up here if I'm studying super late at night. And this will be my delicious little study patio. Oh, now you might be looking at yourself like, Chad, you look like a lazy bum with your hat in bed. And the answer is yes, I am. But it's also just to give you this angle. That's my closet space. The space is, why don't I just flip the camera? This is just another piece of closet space if you have jackets or bags, or you just need some place to put your underwear, your socks, whatever. You could probably put a bunch of little packed areas here, like different boxes and stuff. I never really had that much stuff. I tend to live pretty minimally, so I don't really need that. However, one thing I've always wanted is in my little book nook, I would love that wall over there to have bookshelves, just 2 little half bookshelves for all of the random research books that I actually freaking need. Another nice feature for this upstairs loft is this 3-panel switch. Top one is actually the light for up here. Then, if you come up here right before bed and you forget your light down there, you can actually turn it on from up here. Off, on. And just an extra little switch so I can plug in my iPad or whatever I decide to have, even though I don't technically own an iPad. I'm here at the top of my stairs, and as you can see, this isn't technically a full floor, which is why I was thinking about calling this a 2.5 story, because everything else is quite large. It's 8-foot head clearance downstairs, 12 to 13 in the living room, but up here, you're looking at probably 4 feet of clearance. So it's not a full floor. In fact, in this building, there's 3 stories, but only 2 apartments on each side. So you have the bottom one, which is this like 2.5, and the top, which is like 2.5. But because of the efficiency, this little tiny building has 4 of this style of apartment. And to be completely honest, you don't really notice it. Like, it doesn't feel small, which is always what I've been going for. I've been in apartments that are like 10 square meters here in Japan, and I've been in tiny homes back in Colorado, where I'm from. And this one is kind of a happy medium. It's small, so it's quicker to clean. It takes less time to heat and cool and to do the hot water business for everything, but it doesn't feel constrained like a tiny home. It feels almost like you took a bachelor's townhome and just cut it in half. That sad 40-something divorcee townhome, just cut that in half, and it's actually pretty good for a 24-year-old YouTuber. So yeah, if you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like down below. It helps me tremendously. It lets me know you guys want more of these, because if you guys do want more tiny Japanese apartments, homes, that type of thing, tours, I can make a whole bunch more. I have lots of friends with lots of different types of houses. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, leave them in the comment box down below. I do read all of them, and I mean it. I do read all of them. Now, there will be a part 2 to this video. I'm going to be doing stuff like prices. What's the neighborhood like? What are utilities? Not just what are utilities. Figure that's an easy Google search. How much does it cost? If you want to move into something like this, what can you expect? I will give all of that and much more away on a part 2 video, so long as there's enough interest for it. All right, that's about it for this, guys. I gotta get packed up. I gotta get into the new place. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.